today. From CenturyLink Field in Seattle, Washington, this is Madden NFL 21.
We are just about set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. A few moments ago, they raised the 12th man banner, and this place, as usual, rocking and rolling. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Seattle Seahawks. Taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
They'll run for the first time with James Conner. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
22-yard line.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
2nd and 8.
They'll toss this out right for Conner. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Taken down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. Quentin Dunbar right there on the coverage.
Intended for
It certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
So a good punt there, but a very strong 14-yard return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10.
24-yard line.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 34. He'll throw from the gun. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. It's caught inside the 25.
They should have put a stamp on me in the locker room.
And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf, 66 yards. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead.
Jason Myers for the extra point.
Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stop it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
Taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
At their own 18-yard line.
Back out here comes Pittsburgh's offense, and they're fresh off a Week 5 win against their in-state rival Philadelphia, 38-29. It's the 6th time that they've played since the turn of the century. And they're even now. Each team has won 3 games since then. But, Charles, really the story in this one was rookie Chase Claypool. How about 4 touchdowns against the Eagles, something that no Steelers player had done since 1968.
Yeah, this has been a really impressive start for this rookie out of Notre Dame. They got him in the 2nd round, and Brandon, as you've noticed over time, Pittsburgh tends to find their best receivers in the 2nd round, not necessarily the 1st-round guy, or even later. It's been amazing how they've grabbed those guys and developed them. Claypool, 4 touchdowns against Philadelphia. Now Pittsburgh's 4-0 for the first time since 1979. And guess what? They finished in the Super Bowl every time they've started 4-0 since that time frame. So they're pretty excited about that, about the opportunity. But I have one question for you before we talk about their schedule.
29-yard line.
Are you buying the nickname for Chase Claypool? From Canada, stature similar to Calvin Johnson's, who was Megatron. They're calling him Mapletron, coming from Canada. What do you think?
You know, I like it. It's catchy. Yeah, if he keeps playing like this, we can roll with it.
Listen, I'm going to roll with it if he plays like this as well. They're home for Cleveland next week. It's 3 straight on the road. Big one at Tennessee. Another big one at Baltimore. Then they're at Dallas.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
intended for Deontay Johnson.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Here's Moore on the return. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Seattle Seahawks 5-0 for the first time in franchise history. A Sunday night, Week 5. What a game as they rally back to defeat Minnesota 27-26. And Russell Wilson did it again, as Al Michaels said on the broadcast. Astonishing. He leads the Seahawks 94 yards in the final 2 minutes. Throws a touchdown pass to DK Metcalf on 4th and goal with 15 seconds to play. And he also completed a big 4th and 10 earlier in that game-winning drive. So Charles Russell Wilson being Russell Wilson.
Yeah, it's very similar. What's that great poem about postal workers? Neither rain nor snow nor sleet. I mean, that's Russell Wilson. It does not matter, does it? And every time we talk about the best quarterbacks in the game, other names tend to come up, and then we go, oh, yeah, what about Russell Wilson? He might very well be the best. So that's what he's going off of right now. He's absolutely on a mission to get his team back to a Super Bowl, and in doing so, putting his name up there with the best in the game. 3 touchdown passes in this one, 19 through 5 for him. Russ is cooking, and we're going to hear MVP talk all season long, and he's earned it. They get an open week now, and then they got a couple division games coming up. A really tough one at home against Arizona and Kyler Murray, and then they're at San Francisco for another tough one against that 49ers defense that's usually on its game.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Going for Metcalf. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Give him 30 yards there.
Boy, they've definitely come out of the gate smoking here in the first quarter. Whatever they've tried to run has worked. And there's another example right there. Game plan is one thing, but how about his accuracy? It's been exceptional.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal.
They'll try to run with Carson. And this time they were waiting for him, as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
A loss of 2 on the play. It's 3rd down and goal to go.
On 3rd down, Carson. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
17-yard line.
Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. The tackle made by K.J. Wright.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. On the counter, it's Connor. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. Now, you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see...
Now Ben hit, and he lost the football. It's loose, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown.
Seahawks.
This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Taken about 7 yards deep. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
20-yard line.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and which you also have to go.
And that's going to be intercepted. Jamal Adams with it, the all-pro safety. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
14, buddy. Right here. Watch 98. Watch 98. 98's the mic. It's our field. Hey, it's our house.
After the interception, here's Wilson. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this carries into the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here comes Ben Roethlisberger and the Steeler offense back onto the field. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Roethlisberger now off the bootleg. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. But now it'll be 3rd down.
That was not a real confident throw right there, and he's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big 3rd down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
On 3rd down, it's Conner. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Returning it is Moore. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. He finds an opening past the 40. And he's into the clear. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Chris Carson with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And this Seahawks offense continues to pour it on. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Fielded in the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
James Conner and the Steelers ready to get their next drive going. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
At the 28.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time. That'll bring up second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Roethlisberger. And his throw here's incomplete. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
4th down.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
Now Wilson on first down. He lets it fly. He's got a man. Complete. The 20.
All you got to do is look and learn. Look and learn, baby.
All the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now as his guys continue to pour it on. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And the route is on here in this first half. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
There's James Conner now as he trots back onto the field. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Dustin Colquitt now. Now they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory.
The pass on the fake punt.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, they look like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro safety, Minkah Fitzpatrick. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
First and 10.
Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
First down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Roethlisberger. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter.
Loss of 6 yards. It's second down.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Roethlisberger will throw. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. Quentin Dunbar right there on the coverage.
It's 3rd down.
Complete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Final play of the half. It's Roethlisberger. He's going to launch it for Washington. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So we've reached half. Are you sure you're ready for the 3rd quarter? Need to use a bathroom or anything? Cool. Let's go.
Chris Boswell.
And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Automatic first down.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. From the gun, it's Wilson. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line. Not the way you envision things to start out the third quarter. One play and already a turnover.
It's interesting. You and I were talking with the coach, and he talked about how at halftime, as a play caller, he wanted to make sure he got a new script going for the second half, not just the one that he operated off of to start the game. Nowhere on that script did it have that result. And that run was memorable for only one reason. There was absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
His throw incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And it's third down. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
And 10 yards to go.
An incomplete pass on second down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Just what Seattle was hoping for. The coverage holds. And now 4th down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Charles, 54 yards. I'm surprised that came up short.
I would agree with that one because normally, if he misses, it's accuracy, not length, because he has plenty of leg for that. But maybe it's like I hit my golf shot, you know, maybe it's like my wedge. You know, when you chili dip and you hit the ground ahead of it, sometimes that'll shorten your distance as well.
So after the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line. He lets it fly for Lockett. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep. That's caught inside the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Seahawks are running away with this one.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. Truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal, you know, always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Juju Smith-Schuster, 75 yards. Then the Steelers are able to at least knock the deficit down a bit.
Chris Boswell on for the point after.
And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
DK Metcalf of the Seattle offense about set to take over once again. A monster game so far, third quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback, or we talk about the quarterback throwing guys open, putting it in the right spot. How about some credit for the receivers,
Absolutely.
though, who find ways to get open, whether they uncover late in a route or they get open early, but they just always find a way, and he's having that type of a game.
Yeah, he's been nearly impossible to cover. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 27. He gives it off to Carson. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he'll take it to the 43-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
Chris Carson has proven to be a workhorse for the Seattle Seahawks, and they continue to expand his game. We know that he can run inside and be a bruising type of a player, but he has surprising speed to the perimeter, and they've expanded his game now by throwing it to him out of the backfield. In 2019, in the top 10 in the league in touches and yards from scrimmage.
He's across.
Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. His 5th franchise in 3 years. It's Carlos Hyde. And Hyde will not get there as they force him to the ground shy of the marker.
No gain on the play. It's 4th down.
Running for it. Here's Hyde. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Carlos Hyde, 49 yards. As his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Jason Myers to kick off.
After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
At their own 18-yard line.
Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time.
That's true.
That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. It's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Right back to Connor here on first. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
It's a gain of 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
And the Steelers first down.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Well, switching gears for a second. Look, Charles, we know it's part of the game, but injuries, again, a big story in Week 5. Most notably, of course, Dak Prescott. Pretty severe ankle injury that's going to keep him out the remainder of the season. And that's really just the latest in what has been a tough year already. Gosh, you could probably build an all-pro team, Charles, with some of the guys who have gone down.
Yeah, an all-pro team, and at worst, a Pro Bowl team, because you're talking about names like Saquon Barkley with the New York Giants, Cortland Sutton with Denver, Marlon Mack, Indianapolis, Nick Bosa, San Francisco, all of them injuries that have them lost for the year. Michael Thomas got hurt in the season opener with New Orleans. We haven't seen him since. Nick Chubb with Cleveland on IR. Christian McCaffrey with Carolina. They've all missed significant time, so it's been a tough year for injuries. Some teams are playing around them better than others, and we'll see how it goes the rest of the year, but we wish all these guys who are hurt a speedy recovery.
Second down at 6 now from the 42. Again, a run with Connor. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A gain of 13. It's a first down. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, they'll run with Connor. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. K.J. Wright, the one who shot in there to get him down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
And that one almost intercepted. Call it a 50-50 ball. It falls incomplete, and now third down.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's fourth down. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, this from 46. And Boswell missed it. Missed it to the right. No good. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's a rare 2-miss ball game for him now. Normally one of the more dependable guys you're going to find around.
Very unlike him. One of the better kickers in the NFL. And I don't think there's anything wrong with him physically or mechanically. He's just having one of those games.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. First down with Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Tyler Lockett. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And this offense continues to pour it on. They seemingly just continue to score at will. And as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
And I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win, but one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them. Because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ball game.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
And now out come the Steelers. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team, because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it.
And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. It's Quentin Dunbar with a pick. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past past the 45. But coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away from 19 with his legs and a first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into his windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying.
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or two shy of midfield.
Roughing the passer defense.
This is unbelievable.
Wow, so wipe out the INT roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer.
Check the backer, check the backer. Watch 98, watch 98, 98's the mic. Defense wins championship. 25, 25. Watch 98, watch 98, 98's the mic. Let's go. Good touch.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. A pass underneath for Carson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Chris Carson.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
And 2 at the Steelers' 29-yard line.
Here we go. Watch 98, watch 98.
Play action. Now Wilson. This is caught. It's Greg Olsen. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Greg Olsen was a big-time pickup for the Seattle Seahawks in the offseason. Spent the last 9 seasons with Carolina as an all-pro, Pro Bowl tight end, and did the same thing before that with the Chicago Bears. Now he moves to the Northwest and gives Russell Wilson a big-time target in the middle of the field.
And this is caught at the 8. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another first down.
1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off for this win.
Yeah, they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter.
Jason.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Taken about 7 yards deep. And he returns this to the 22.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Steelers ready for their next possession. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people.
And that's going to be intercepted. Jamal Adams with it, the all-pro safety. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, and give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. 1 play, and they're able to hit pay dirt.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
At their own 18-yard line.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want.
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And all the way down to the 26.
To Juju Smith-Schuster.
A big play. Smith-Schuster on the throw from Big Ben. 56 yards. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They run on 1st down as they're able to get this forward for about 4.
Steeler ball carrier.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. And that's going to be intercepted. Jamal Adams with it, the all-pro safety. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on it.
And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards.
Oh, no. There was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts, and in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and it's 3rd down.
After what they faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. from the shotgun. Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Now Myers for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown.
Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Fielded in the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
It's up 2nd and 10 at the 20.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Play fake to Connor. Now Roethlisberger. That's caught by the 6'8" tight end, Zach Gentry. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. They go play action now. Roethlisberger under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. And my goodness, another interception. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And they will finally stop him, but a great return gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line.
Roethlisberger's pass intercepted. The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Wilson wants to throw it. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
Intended for DK Metcalf. Incomplete. It leads to 2nd and 10.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw again, Wilson. This will be caught at about the 6. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
Score Seahawks 80.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.